Hello. Welcome to the DeHart House podcast. I've not had enough coffee. Coffee. It is like 2 in the afternoon. Marjorie has just joined us. Marjorie, would you like to say hello? Or would you like to sniff the area of the craft room that I have just cleaned up? Hello? Hi. Yes, I would like you to give me any kind of treat. That is Marjorie, our 3-year-old black Labrador, who sometimes makes an appearance on the podcast. Yes, there we go. So I am drinking some coffee. It is like 2 in the afternoon, and I really needed a pick-me-up because it has been an eventful morning. So, before I get into that, let me take another sip of my coffee and enjoy the company of my dog, who is laid down on the floor next to me, because I'm the only one in the house right now. So, I am recording from my phone today instead of my laptop because the camera is so much better on my phone. Like, the colors look amazing on this phone screen, and so I just feel like everything's going to come across so much better. The downside is the storage space on my phone. So I'm going to have to quit doing this and start like actually showing you guys things. So welcome to the DeHart House podcast. My name is Alicia. You can find me on social media as Reading It Run on Instagram and AlittyKnitsToo on Ravelry. You can also follow the podcast and the shop at DeHart House on Instagram. And don't forget to join our group on Ravelry called the DeHart House Podcast Group, which is where you can find notes and links to everything that I talk about in these episodes. So, it's episode 70. We made it to 70 in 2019. This is awesome. It's December 16th, I think, today. It's Monday. Excuse me. You guys, I finished all of my Christmas knitting. I wrapped up all the gifts and I sent them out in the mail, and they're all going to arrive on time for Christmas. Who am I this year? This is awesome. I am historically really bad about getting people their gifts on time. So birthday gifts for me come 3 days late or 3 weeks late. I'm horrible. So I told myself I had to make it a priority to get Christmas gifts in the mail around December 15th in hopes that they would get there on time, and holy crap, I did it. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So I did film the bonus episode. It will come out, like I said, after Christmas, when I've made sure everyone in the family has opened up their gifts. So I will probably release that episode on the 26th or the 27th. So you can look for that short little bonus episode where I share all the things that I knit for Christmas gifts. And that'll roll out in a time when I am visiting with family and unable to record a podcast. So you will still have some joy coming your way from my craft room to yours. So yeah, I feel like a proper adult. Like I've just leveled up by sending out Christmas gifts on time. I'm just so happy. Anyway, so I have a few things to share with you in this episode. Since I did finish Christmas gift knitting, I was able to then focus on other knits. And I have a finished object to share with you. It's a pretty big finished object. I finished a sweater. Yeah, so I will show you that momentarily. It is not the sweater that I'm wearing. This is a store-bought sweater. It's very thin. very thin machine knit sweater that I bought in a store many, many years ago. So before I get into finished objects and showing off that sweater, just some reminders about the Give Thanks hat collection knit along that is going on. That is being hosted over in our Ravelry group. Again, that is DeHart House podcast group on Ravelry. There are 2 threads over there, one for finished object pictures, another one for chatter. So for every hat that you knit from the Give Thanks hat collection, take a picture of your finished object, post it in the FO thread. Each finished hat counts as an entry into the giveaway that I'm going to do at the beginning of 2020. So the knit along runs through the end of this year. So December 31st is the last day that you can post in that thread. I'm going to close it on January 1st, and then I will draw winners for the prizes. Details on the prizes and whatnot can be found in that finished object thread in the DeHart House podcast group. There's a separate chatter thread for those of you who want to share kudos on liking other people's knits, asking questions, and that sort of thing. So I want to keep the FO thread full of finished object pictures and not cluttered up with chatter. That's why there's a separate thread. So do go post over there and participate so that you can be entered in for prizes. So I'm going to share my finished object with you, which means I need to do a real quick wardrobe change so I can show off this sweater. Okay, so I finished another So Faded sweater by Andrea Mowry, and this time I knit it out of my hand-dyed yarn, and I also only used 2 skeins of yarn, which is crazy. So I just finished this yesterday. This sweater has not been washed or blocked, so I anticipate it shifting around a little bit, hopefully gaining a little bit of length when I do that. So do keep that in mind as I show this off to you. It has not been washed or blocked, so I'm hoping that some things will change after I do that. But yeah, so this is So Faded by Andrea Mowry. I'll move my hair out of the way so you can see. So I've knit this pattern before. I knit this out of shades of black and gray, and I called it my 5 shades of gray sweater. It was wonderful. I knit that in the 4th size in her pattern. This sweater I knit in the 2nd size. So I realized in this superwash yarn at the gauge asked for that 4th size was a bit too big, which is a really nice, comfy, cozy sweater to wear. But I wanted a sweater that was a little bit more snug, and I wanted to see if I could do it with only 2 skeins of yarn. So this is what I came up with. So if I can stand up and try to show this to you. So it is only 2 colors, and these are my hand-dyed yarns. So the color on top is Poolside, which has blues and teals and yellows. And then the darker color is Winter Solstice, which has blues and greens and browns. And they have the same blues and teals in them, so they look really nice together. Anyway, so yeah, it's short sleeve. Again, I only gave myself 2 skeins of yarn, 1 skein in each color. So it ended up being short sleeve because that's all the yarn that I had. And I did knit it long. So it's not super long, but I did follow the instructions for the full-length sweater. So I did not want a cropped sweater. Cropped shirts are not my style. I need longer shirts, especially if I'm going to wear them to work. I teach for a living. I teach math for a living, which means I write on the whiteboard a lot, which means my arms go up a lot during my work day, and I need shirts that are going to cover my midriff. So I did knit this to be the full-length sweater as in the pattern. And I'm hoping that after I block this, it will get just a little bit longer. Because I have a little bit of room here. I think it fits very nicely, but if some of these centimeters can move down here, that would be just perfect. I did not anticipate this being short sleeve, but it is. And it's actually an okay short sleeve length. I was really worried that these were going to be like tiny, tiny sleeves, like ending at my armpit. But they're not. They go past my armpit, which is good. So, I did a few things differently with this sweater than I did with my previous one. So, first, I knit 2 sizes smaller, and it's wonderful. It's definitely the right size for me. I did do the garter ridges on the sleeves as the pattern calls for, so I did not change that. So, like I was saying, my silly phone is running out of room to record videos and is interrupting me. So, I also actually went down a needle size on the ribbing. So when I knit this sweater before, I'm pretty sure I kept the same needle size for everything, and I didn't actually go down a needle size for the ribbing. And let me tell you what a difference that makes. Like, first of all, the other sweater is 2 sizes bigger, but the neckline on it is so big that I feel like I have to wear a shirt underneath it because it is just so big. And if I'm wearing a sweater, it's because I want to stay warm, and I don't really want a huge neck opening. On this one, it's perfect. It's perfect. It covers my bra straps. It still fits over my head. But anyway, so I went down a needle size on the ribbing. Like the pattern tells you to, I didn't do that the first time. And yeah, the sleeves fit really nicely because I did that. You know, they're not flaring out or anything. So, wow, what a game changer. Like, just 1 needle size. That's it. What a big difference. So there's that. Obviously, I made the sleeves shorter because I simply ran out of yarn. But, you guys, I knit a sweater, a short sleeve sweater, granted, out of 2 skeins of yarn. Like, what? That is awesome. So I wanted to see if I could do it, and I could. Anyway, I think it's really cool. So I think I'm going to stay in this sweater for the rest of the podcast, instead of switching back. So anyway, I know I love you too. So this is my finished object. Oh my gosh. So now let me share with you my works in progress, which does include another sweater. So hang on, let me go grab that. So the first work in progress that I want to talk about with you guys, I want to show and talk about, so I want to shock about it, yeah, is a sweater that I'm knitting for my husband. So I am knitting the Ranger cardigan by Jared Flood. I knit this same cardigan for my dad last year. I started this cardigan, I noticed on Ravelry, I started this in February. You guys, it's December and I'm still not done. Marjorie, you have been out. You don't need to go out again. Anyway, so I had the body and the sleeves done last time I showed this to you. So what I've done is I've weaved in all of those ends because they were all hanging out. And I've put the collar on it, which, okay, more needle size changing in this ribbing here, which I didn't do on my dad's sweater, but wow, what a difference it makes. Crazy. And I put on one of the button bands. So if I can kind of show this to you. So this side has a button band, and this is the side that the buttons will get attached to. Now, I realized I used up all my buttons on my dad's sweater and on my cardigan, and I didn't have any left. So I had to go out and buy buttons for this sweater. Yeah. So it has been sitting around for a few days now, but I have buttons. I took Michael to the store with me and we picked out buttons. So I need to sew those on, and then I can knit the button band on the other side, which has the holes. And that is all I have to do to finish this sweater. So I need to get this done so that Michael can wear this on our Christmas vacation when we're going to go down and spend time with family. So I would really like to have this finished so he can wear it. And so that's all I have to do is sew on buttons and knit the button band that has the holes in it. And that's it. Otherwise the whole thing, I mean, it's ready to go. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So again, the pattern is Ranger by Jared Flood. It's a beautifully textured cardigan pattern. It's modeled, I believe, by Jared Flood. It looks really, really stunning. I knit this pattern last year for my dad in a light gray color, and Michael really liked it, so he wanted it in a dark gray. So this yarn is, I have the tag right here. It is Cloudborn Fibers Highland Worsted in the Charcoal Heather colorway. So I ordered this from Craftsy when it was Craftsy. It is now Blueprint, but back when it was Craftsy, I ordered this yarn. And then one of my hang-ups was that I was one skein short. And that was around the time we were moving, which was back in August. And I remember saying, I'm not going to order that last skein of yarn right before we move. I might as well wait until after we move. And then I went and ordered it before we moved. But we were packing and moving, and I just did not have time to knit on this thing. So I have gotten this out of storage. It has been worked on. It's not quite finished yet, but oh my gosh, it better be next time I see you guys, because this needs to be done. And I really want to get it done this year so I can count the yardage for this year. I can't believe it has taken me 11 months to knit him a sweater. That is just ridiculous. Ridiculous, considering I've knit myself, what, 2 sweaters since then. This is just totally not fair. So, yeah, I'm going to put on the buttons. I'm going to sew that. I'm going to knit that other button band with the buttonholes. I'm going to get this done, you guys. I have to. I just have to. But I'm really excited. So this is a 100% wool. So I hope that Michael loves it. I hope that he takes care of it. I love it. I think it's going to be a great sweater. The next work in progress I want to share with you is a pair of socks that I'm knitting for Michael. I can get socks done, but not sweaters apparently. So I have finished the first sock. This is knit out of Serenity sock in the gray flannel colorway. So this I purchased from Joann's, from one of their clearance bins, and it's a self-striping yarn. I like to knit my socks cuffed down because I can't for the life of me bind off in any sort of reasonable way in ribbing. So yeah, it's either too tight or too loose, and I can never find that Goldilocks middle ground. So I like knitting mine cuffed down. So this is cuffed down. It has a heel flap and gusset, which I don't normally do, but gosh, I'm really into right now. I worked 1x1 ribbing on the top of the foot and all around the leg of the sock. No contrast, I'm just doing it all in that self-striping. So I have finished the first sock, and the second sock is on the needles. Here it is. I'm almost done with the leg portion, so I'm doing 30 rounds for the leg. So here's the deal. Oh, I hate it when it's just a smidge off. Do you see that? Those dark stripes are just a smidge off. I very dislike that. So, yeah, so, funny story. I started this first sock in the waiting room. I took Michael to one of his doctor's appointments, and it was for physical therapy, and I wasn't sure how intense the physical therapy was going to be, so I drove in case he wasn't going to be up for it. Anyway, so I started this sock in the waiting room at that appointment, and then this morning we went to more appointments, and I've worked on this one in the waiting room, so these are my waiting room socks, apparently. I have worked on them in other places too, but it's just funny. So anyway, I took the second ball of yarn and I wound it on my ball winder so that I could reverse the order of the stripes. So they are going in a different order, like this light color here is down here. You see that? What I don't like is when, like, this is the part you're going to see is on the leg and those dark stripes don't line up, and that bugs me. I wanted to reverse the order because I didn't want this to happen. And now it is, but whatever. I know it doesn't bug Michael. It just bugs me. But anyway, so these are my my mindless knitting that I get to do in waiting rooms, when I'm walking on the treadmill, when we're watching a TV show or movie that I actually need to pay attention to. So, yeah, these are really nice, and I really like this yarn. I'm very sad that it looks like Joann's isn't carrying it anymore, because it is actually really nice yarn. So here it is, caked up. So, yep, just working on these. I only work on these when I need something mindless because I have other things that I need to get done, like a sweater. So I'm not going to lug that sweater around with me to waiting rooms, so my sock comes with me. So it's been living in this really awesome bag. This is one of my bags, DeHart House Creations, which I need to unbury my sewing machine over there and start making bags again. But this is out of some really cool fabric that I just found out of luck. But it's got these bear and elk and moose, and they're wood patterns. Look at that. They're wood patterns, which is so cool. I know it. So I was hesitant about this fabric, so I didn't buy a lot of it. I only had enough for this one bag. But I was really hesitant about it because it has this light background, and I was really afraid of how dirty this bag was going to get. But look, it's not. It is not dirty. So, okay, I don't need to freak out. But anyway, I didn't put a handle on it, and I usually do, but yeah, there's no handle on this one. It's got a zipper. It keeps all my stuff in here. I carry around my notions pouch everywhere I go. This is one of my notions pouches. Back before I had labels, so there is no label on this. But I love the clear vinyl on my notions pouch because I can see all my things in here, and I can easily find them inside of my project bag. So anyway, this has been coming around with me to many, many places, and I just love it. So the next work in progress that I want to share with you is a design that I'm working on that I'm hoping to release maybe February of next year. So this is a colorwork sock pattern, and I have learned the hard way, you guys, that I have to wait to show you some of these things until I make a certain amount of progress, because I ripped this out 4 times. just take that in for a moment. Okay? I knit this sock, not the full sock, but the leg of the sock, 4 times until I got it right. So 4 variations, finally landing on this last one, where it finally worked out. So let me show you the better side. So, oh my gosh, I love it so much. So this is one of my new color work sock designs. I love color work. I've been drawn to color work knitting. It's the reason that I wanted to start knitting. I started out crocheting as a crafter, and I crocheted from age 5 up through to my 20s. And then I started picking up knitting. And what really drew me to knitting was the color work, because color work in crochet is different because the stitches don't line up in a grid, they're staggered, and so it makes it a little bit more difficult. So with knitting, it's easier. So here they are. Oh my gosh, I love them so much. So I didn't want to share this with you until I settled on the design and what it was going to be. So this leg has gone through 4 different iterations, and here we are. This is what we settled on. So this is knit cuff down. Again, my favorite. I have some twisted rib at the top. We've got color work knitting, heel flap. The gusset has the patterning in it. So it's charted so that you can continue this pattern through the gusset, and then down the leg, and then the toe is just a nice standard toe. So you can see you've definitely got a main color here, and then a nice contrast color to give you that patterning. Okay, I had to answer that because he was going to the store and I needed to tell him to buy something. Anyway, so what was I saying? I think I went through all the major details, but the first sock is finished, and I absolutely love it. So I knit this out of, this main color is more Cloudborne yarn. This is in a fingering weight. I should have looked it up, but I believe it's a merino nylon blend. I believe it's superwash. I use this same yarn in a shawl. The color is Shayla Heather, so it's like a brown gray color. And then this purple is Cascade yarn in, I think the colorway is called Plum. But I use this in my Find Your Fade shawl, which seems like a really long time ago. Anyway, so I have finished the first sock, which means I have an outline for the pattern. So what I did is went ahead and sort of finalized my charts, drafted up a pattern, and now what I'm doing is I'm knitting the second sock. If I can pull this out for you. And I am following my pattern. So as far as the first proofread goes, I draft the pattern after I knit the first sock, then I follow that pattern while I'm knitting the second sock. I've already found a few errors that I'm fixing, which is good. And so I have that pattern out while I'm knitting the second sock. I can fix errors as they come along. I still have this sock fresh in my mind. Okay, so I really need to fix the storage on my phone because it keeps interrupting me. I am so sorry. This is very unprofessional of me. But anyway, so I am working through the first draft of the pattern, but I need a few more test knitters to help me with your fresh pair of eyes and your expertise to help me work out all the kinks in my pattern. Hopefully there will be none left, but it's really nice to have a fresh set of eyes and more beautiful finished object pictures. So if you would like to test knit this wonderful colorwork sock pattern, please send me either a message on Ravelry. Again, my username is AlittyKnitsToo, or you can send me a private message on Instagram. So you can do that at DeHart House. So just send me a message, let me know that you would like to help test knit some colorwork socks. I already have a couple of test knitters who have agreed, but I'd really like to get a couple more. And so all you need are 2 contrasting colors of fingering weight yarn. You really want them to be different so that it's very, oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? The pattern is very easy to see. Anyway, so yeah, this is just, I love it. I think it looks so cool. So since that was my last work in progress, that means what I can share with you next is my spinning. So last time I did share with you some singles on my bobbin of some Coopworth fleece that I am spinning up. And so I have plied that, washed it, dried it, and it's glorious. So so this is a 2-ply yarn, and like I said, I'm spinning this out of a Coopworth fleece that I purchased back in, I think it was October that I purchased it. So this is the 3rd skein that I have spun up, and they're not full, 4-ounce skeins because I have small bobbins. They're more like somewhere between 30 and 50 grams, so 2 ounces-ish each. Anyway, so I'm shooting for like a fingering weight / sport yarn, and I think I've been doing a pretty good job of that. And it's a 2-ply. I want to see if this will focus. I don't think I have the settings set up for this to focus, autofocus when I do that, so I apologize. But anyway, so this is the 3rd skein. I have the 2 previous here as well. I need to put labels on these because I have done some calculations on these first 2 skeins as far as how much yardage is here, and so I need to get these labeled. And then I need to do the same calculation on this 3rd skein now that I finished it, because what I want to do is finish spinning all of this up before I start knitting with it. I want to know how many yards I have to work with so that I can pick out an appropriate pattern. So I have some ideas in mind, but I don't know if I'm going to meet those yardage goals. So I need to make sure I have enough yardage first. But yeah, these look like they definitely come from the same sheep. They look like the same color, which is good. But they also look like the same yarn, which is awesome. It is just awesome. Considering what time span I'm spreading this spinning out over, this whole process is amazing. And I wasn't sure that I would like working with wool straight off the sheep, but I really do. So after I was finished spinning this into yarn, first of all, it was still a bit greasy with that lanolin, right? It's lanolin that sheep produce. Anyway, so it was still a bit greasy, not excessively, but enough that I could notice it. So, and after I was done spinning it, this skein was very twisty. Like when I just held it like this, it was very, very twisty. And as you can see, it is less so. It still has a little bit of a twist in it, but soaking it in water and hanging it up really, really helped with that, which is good. Also, I do wash it. I have noticed I've been washing this in really hot water after I'm done spinning. And it's not like you need to set the twist, But I've been using really hot water so that I can get a little bit more of that grease out of here. And wow, what a difference. So I'm just going to keep doing that because it feels amazing. Like I said, I really want to knit a sweater out of this, like a, see, that feels just fine on my skin. I guess my neck is really the test. Anyway, so I really want to knit a sweater out of this. I don't want my sweater to feel greasy. I want it to feel clean. I want it to look nice. So washing this in that hot water just one more time has really, really made a difference. So I should really be rubbing this on my neck. So I say that because, right, your neck is really sensitive. Mine is really sensitive. Like if I just touch it, put a bit of pressure around there, but I didn't rub it or anything, it will turn red. It will, at least pink. It will turn pink there in a little bit. I have allergies. I am allergic to, I mean, you name it. I'm probably allergic to it, except for a lot of foods. But pollen, ragweed, freshly cut grass, dogs, cats, birds. I'm deathly allergic to horses. I was allergic to a bunch of different foods when I was a kid. I have since overcome some of those allergies, although I feel like I might be gaining new allergies. I don't know. But anyway, if it's going to bother me, my neck is the first place that I break out. It's the first place that I get itchy. It's the first place that I get hives. So if this yarn is going to bother me, my neck is the place to test. So if you see me out in public, I'm rubbing yarn on my neck. That is what I'm doing. Just a little, allergy sensitivity test. That's all. Just rubbing some yarn on my neck. No big deal. Whatever. But, I'm not going to invest in a bunch of stuff if it's just going to make me break out. And if it is going to make me break out, I need to know that who is pulling up by my fence back here. Strange things you notice when you're looking out your window. Okay, they're getting out of the car. Are you coming into my backyard? Oh, it must be one of my neighbors checking their mail. So we live on this tiny, tiny road. I don't know that you could even call it a road, but there are 4 houses on this tiny little road, and so all of our mailboxes are out by this bigger road, so I bet he's just checking his mail. So that is it for the crafty things. So Michael and I went and visited another state park. Oh gosh, what was the name? Miller, Sylvania. What a name. So Miller, Sylvania State Park was really cute. It was another rainy day, so it's been very rainy on our adventures. Marjorie and I did a little bit of running together. We're trying to work on training her, and one of the benefits of having a big dog, in my opinion, is that I could potentially take her running with me and she could keep up. She could surpass me by all means, but she could keep up if we were going on longer distances. So we really want to get her trained to go on walks with us and be better behaved on the leash and around other people and other dogs. And so I feel like a good way to ease into the running is to sprinkle in some running there. So we did a little bit of a jog together. That was super fun. It helped that we had done all of our walking before that. We did our exploring, walking around the park, seeing all the things. We got to see lots of geese out in the water, other people walking their dogs in the area, and we got her all tired out. We got her a good drink of water, and then I said, let's run. So she was already all tired out, which meant that she behaved really well on the running portion. so I was able to reward that good behavior, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that trend as we move forward. So, what do you think, Jory? Huh? Doesn't even notice the birds yet. All the many birds. Yeah, we went and visited Miller Sylvania State Park, and then this most recent weekend, today is Monday, so was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Where did we go yesterday? What was it called? Shoot. We went to another state park yesterday. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up. Hang on. Flaming Geyser State Park. So, you would think this would be really interesting. Guess what? Not really. So, there are geysers there. So there is this pressurized bit of gas under the ground that is slowly escaping through these places. So there are impressive geysers in Yellowstone National Park. There's the really popular Old Faithful, which is a water geyser. There are other geysers that do have that sulfuric smell to them with the gases that are being released, and then the bacteria that grow in there that make all those pretty colors. These are not the geysers at Flaming Geyser State Park, which is fine. Not every geyser can be as impressive as a Yellowstone geyser. But, so we walked around the park a little bit, found signs for the Flaming Geyser. We went over there, and you could tell that humans had dug this little, it looked like people had dug this pit down, and then there was this pipe in the middle of it. And in the middle, the pipe was capped off, but in the middle there was this little hole, and out of this little hole was a little bit of gas. And on the sign it had said, if you bring a lighter with you and you light the gas coming out of there, you'll see a little flame for a few seconds or a minute or something like that. Which we didn't bring a lighter with us. We were like, haha, the website must be joking. But, okay, alright, it was whatever. So it wasn't that impressive. It's not like you can see the gas coming out of there, hence lighting it on fire. So it's not actually naturally flaming. It's that you can bring a lighter and flame it up yourself, which seems really dangerous, but whatever. Further down the path, there was a sign for another geyser called the Bubbling Geyser. So we're like, okay, well, let's go down and see this Bubbling Geyser. So we go down this path, which had a bunch of stairs on it, and this really nice platform that this Boy Scout troop had built. And so this Bubbling Geyser is coming out of this little side stream, which feeds into the river, which is a decent sized river. Not massive, but like you need a bridge to go across this river. Yeah, it's this particular geyser has a bunch of calcium in it. So a lot of the sticks and things that were in that little stream were covered in this white substance, and that was the calcium buildup. So this geyser did smell a little bit, but they call it the bubbling geyser because of the little bubbles that come up within the stream. So it wasn't super impressive. There were just like little bubbles every once in a while. What was really cool to see was the calcium buildup on some of the moss. So there's moss that grows on like everything around here, which looks really cool. But on some of those tree branches that had fallen into the stream, so the moss is down in there, and to see the calcium built up on these little stringy bits and seeing the water flow move it around, it just looked really alien and neat. The size of it was really small, so you have to be looking for it to find it. If you were going to find this out on this path on your own, you'd have to know what you were looking for. So it was nice to have a clear path with signs. Hey guys, so my phone totally ran out of storage last night when I was recording. Big surprise. So it's the next day, but I need to add in this last little bit to the episode and let you guys know that we got to 200 subscribers. Yay! And so I am hosting a giveaway as a thank you for you guys who watch and follow and who have subscribed to the podcast. I really, really appreciate it. So for the giveaway, first, let me share with you the prizes. So I'm going to give away one prize package to one lucky winner. That prize package will include a skein of yarn and a bag. So the yarn is from Knit Picks, so I picked this out of my stash. It is Knit Picks Stroll. Again, I don't have autofocus on. I need to remember that. The colorway is Aloha hand painted, so it has light blue, looks like a medium teal color, purple, red, pink, really pretty, bright, vibrant color. And I chose this because it goes really well with this bag. So this is one of my bags, DeHart House Creations. It's got teacups and birds on it and a handle. So this is one of my small bags. It's got a boxed bottom. So there's no closure on it because I like to give you guys a choice of whether you want a zipper or snaps. So the winner of the 200 subscriber giveaway will win this bag and this skein of yarn, and they will get to choose whether they want snaps as a closure. So what I'll do is I would put 2 snaps on here, or a zipper, and that zipper would go across the entire top here. So here's what you need to do to win this prize. So here's what you need to do to enter into the 200 subscriber giveaway. I want you to comment right here in YouTube down below this episode right here, episode 70. And I want you to answer the question, what is your favorite activity to do with your family? So when you get together with family, whether it's for a holiday, a birthday, or it's just a regular day, what is your favorite activity to do with your family? So just comment below. Please try not to use the word giveaway because that goes out into the interwebs, and people who don't genuinely watch the podcast or follow kind of tune into words like giveaway and free prizes and stuff. So I really want you guys, my viewers, to win these prizes. So if you could refrain from using the word giveaway, that would be awesome. But yes, just comment below. Let me know what your favorite activity to do with your family is. And right before I record the next episode, so on episode 71, I will announce the winner of this 200 subscriber giveaway, and that person will win the skein of yarn and the bag. So, yeah, I don't know when I will have the next episode out, but let's just go ahead and say a week. And if it ends up being more time, then awesome, you have more time. So on episode 71, I will announce the winner. So thank you again so much for subscribing and for following the podcast. And I can't wait to see you guys next time and announce the winner. So Thanks again. If I don't see you before Christmas, Happy Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Festivus, Happy New Year. Hopefully I'll see you before then, but just in case I don't, happy holidays and happy knitting. Bye!